Welcome back to JMac Investing. My name is Jason. So I took a little bit of time today and went into a rabbit hole, which can be a good or a bad thing. And as you can see, it all kind of started with this tweet, conspiracy theory alert. I was doing some research on the CTO and co-founder of Ouster. I've interviewed the CEO of Ouster, Angus Pacala. So Mark Frichtel, he's a co-founder and CTO. So he's got a really impressive resume. You can see starting here, he used to work as a financial analytics engineer with Palantir, which in any other company that would probably wouldn't sound as intriguing, but because it's from Palantir, that's very interesting. Then he worked at Quanergy, which is a now publicly traded company that Angus Pacala founded. He left it to start Ouster. So again, we're still talking about Mark here, the CTO and co-founder. He went from Quanergy to Apple. Guess what? So he was the technologies development engineer at Apple in a special projects group, which is important to know. That was likely the Lidar group. Now all iPhones now have Lidar in them for different apps and things like that. You can use Lidar. Probably there's a good chance that this guy developed it using some of the similar technology he got from Quanergy, which is in the Apple iPhones. You know what I mean? All right, so he started connecting some dots, and then you can see his final destination here is the co-founder and CTO of Ouster, also on the CNBC Technology Executive Council. He's a council member, whatever that is. So anyway, end of the day, I went through it and I said there will likely be an Ouster Apple deal at some point, and I said it initially as a conspiracy theory, and no longer do I think this is a conspiracy. I 100% believe that this will come to fruition sometime in the near future. I don't have any kind of timelines on it, but this is setting up for Ouster to partner with Apple, like for real. We will start this journey by going back the furthest I can find on any sort of article or information surrounding Apple being in talks with some LiDAR companies. So you can see Apple reportedly in talks with LiDAR sensor suppliers with revolutionary design, which is key. Remember that, revolutionary design for Project Titan, their EV. I highlighted this because I had Googled LiDAR and Apple, and it says here, originally, Apple is currently using LiDAR sensors from Velodyne Incorporated and other vendors on its existing fleet of autonomous vehicles. These units, however, are extremely expensive at $100,000 USD, bulky, and the inclusion of mechanical moving parts mean they are bound to fail sooner or later. In other words, that's what I've been saying the whole time about all the other players, including all of the big ones, Laser, all the other ones. They use analog with moving parts. So here you go. So this article continues to go down and say 3 people familiar with the matter said that Apple's plan is to seek LiDAR units that will be much smaller, cheaper, and capable of being mass produced at a scale not currently available today. Sounds kind of like Oust, right? The cheapest digital mass produce. And then it says the executives have demanded that it be a revolutionary design, and it would mean Apple would control the entire production chain of hardware behind autonomous vehicles. Quoting one source, they're not happy with most of what they see. Again, this was 2 years ago. They're looking for a revolutionary design. Instead, Apple's LiDAR wish list includes the ability for the sensors to see several hundred yards down the road with a sleek, low-profile design. What did Ouster recently do? They acquired Sense Photonics, and now they've launched a digital flash LiDAR system for automobiles. So there's one more article that I was really mind-blowing. Let's check this out. And it's all the dots are being connected here. Just follow with me. So this is on Forbes now. So this isn't lightweight. The other article I really don't know anything about that author or that site, how reliable it is. This one has much more reliability. It's Forbes. It's a well-known, financial website and brand, basically. So it says from the iPhone to the iCar, which LiDAR will Apple use? So check it out. We'll get up in here. The LiDAR currently deployed in Apple consumer devices uses BCSELs and SPADs. What does Ouster CEO always talk about? The SPADs and the VC cells that they're using, right? So it is a flash LiDAR device with limited resolution, or that they're developing and that they're continuing to build on, I should say. And he jumps right into it, you know what I mean? So this was mid-year 2021. The architecture is compelling from a styling and size perspective. The absence of messy mechanical scanners enables sleek sleek integration without the LiDAR appearing prominent or visible, extending the performance and reliability of this architecture into an automotive application like L3 and L4. Similar to Apple, Sense Photonics. Who owns Sense Photonics now? Ouster. OPSIS, ZFIBO, and Ouster use VC cells and SPADs in the 8 to 9 nanometer wavelengths, but extend range, FOV, and PPS performance. So 2 of the 4 mentioned that are there's a 50% chance that it's Ouster that has the technology. And this article predates the new release of this automotive lineup, the Digital Flash series. You getting it? Sense's LiDAR uses no scanning. Sense's LiDAR is now Ouster's LiDAR, whereas Ouster, ZF, and OPSIS deploy electronic scanning with no mechanical moving parts. The guy does go on to say that, it's possible that they develop their own LiDAR. If it does, the odds are that it will leverage the experience from the iPhone and iPad LiDAR industrialization and pursue the VC cell and SPAD design that, like I said, there's a pretty good chance that we're talking about this that was developed by the co-founder of Ouster, that's being used in Apple iPhones and iPad architecture, I should say. Let's go to the announcement about the automotive LiDAR Digital Flash series from Ouster. Before we do, remember, sources said Apple was looking for a revolutionary design, right? Enter revolutionary design. Ouster, on March 10th, 2022, just a couple weeks ago, Ouster introduces Chronos, the best-in-class automotive digital LiDAR chip. Today, Ouster announced the introduction of the Chronos chip, an automotive-grade, fully custom digital LiDAR silicon receiver that will power its DF digital flash solid-state sensor suite. The state-of-the-art Chronos chip is the foundation of the digital flash architecture and enables Ouster to deliver more performant, power-efficient, and compact digital LiDAR sensors that enable L2 to L5 automation in high-volume automotive series production vehicles. Here we go. Check this out. So Ouster expects the Chronos chip to be the most powerful SPAD-based LiDAR chip produced to date, reiterating the company's leading edge in digital LiDAR semiconductors in the world. And it intends to tape out the Chronos chip in late 2022 and integrate the chips into the first sample units in 2023. Ouster expects the DF series to be available for mass market passenger vehicles starting production in 2025. There you go. So that's probably about the same time frame that Apple will likely be rolling out its vehicle, 24, 25, with announcements along the way here. Again, there's too many connections. There's too many dots already connected along the path here. So I will say I'm in works right now. I'm in discussion. I've been discussing it with Ouster to do a follow-up interview with them. And so that could be sometime coming up pretty soon. So hey, maybe you're liking the hat over here. You know what I mean? If you are, swag is down at the bottom of the video. You can just look down below and there'll be links to the hat. There's some shirts. It's pretty cool. I tried to step up the game, make them look a lot nicer, and I just got this in the mail the other day. This is a sample of the newest hat that I've released. So all that stuff supports me and the channel and some of the traveling that I'm doing. You can also support the channel by joining the Patreon, patreon.com /JMac investing, and there's WeBull free stocks, Moo free stocks. I think WeBull's doing like 5 free stocks, and then there's like Simply Wall Street, which is an amazing stock screener it produces reports for companies. You can sign up for a free 14-day trial. All of those links are down in the video description below. So do me a favor and help out any way you can. If not, understood, but I appreciate you considering it anyway. But there you go. The dots are connected, and I think that this thing will explode like crazy once this. But again, my investment thesis on Ouster had really nothing to do with any of this at all. I just knew that they were the digital LiDAR only really sole player that's public. Quanergy is now, but listen, all of the knowledge about the digital LiDAR, all of the innovation is at Ouster with their CEO and their co-founder. So like I said, do your own research, dig into this, and Make sure you, like I said, do your own diligence before investing in any company. Don't just listen to a YouTuber. So hope you guys are enjoying yourself, having a good one. That's all I got till next time. Thanks for watching. Deuces.